Good evening. I'm Samantha Souza.
And I'm Coleman Drew.
All right, let's take it again.
And I'm Coleman Drew. I'm sorry, I can't read the teleprompter. I'm sorry. And I'm Coleman Drew. This is the Great White Way Report. And now for Broadway's top. I'm so sorry. This is like live shit.
Sorry.
Oh my god, fuck.
Hello, Great White Wayers. Welcome to our third annual Great White Way Report Tony Recap Show.
What?
Let's just get right to it, shall we?
Let's do it.
What did we think of the opening number?
Well, I have to say, I laughed a lot.
I didn't like it.
But as it marinated, I kind of was offended.
That's kind of how I felt. I mean, it was funny, but I just felt like it didn't hit the nail on the head for me.
It's not just for gays. It's not just for gays. We'd be twice as proud to have you if you go both ways. Broadway is not just for gays anymore.
Well, here's the thing. Straight people have a lot of things. They have marriage. They can adopt babies in every state. The only thing I have as a gay man is the Tonys. And hearing Neil Patrick Harris give it away to breeders on national television is just not okay with me. I want it back, Neil. I want the fucking Tony Awards back. They're for me! And for all of you homos out there who dress up like Betty Buckley. I dress up like Kyla Pone. Give it back, Neil, or I'll stop following you on Twitter.
What were some of our favorite moments of the Tonys?
Let's see.
I liked when Harry Potter tore it up on stage during one of the first performances for How to Succeed. That was awesome.
That was great. We really love Mormons in general.
It's true. Bumblebees.
Ooh, and we have to give a shout out to Gavin Creel's drunk tweets.
Those were nice.
Those were
And
fabulous.
it was great to have like a general feeling of the Broadway community. It was such a contrast from last year, which really felt like a movie star event.
Right?
And we're just happy to have Broadway back in the right hands.
All right, Great White Wayers. You got the sugar. Now you got to take the medicine. These are some things that we didn't agree with about the Tony Awards.
I didn't think that Norbert Leobutz should have won Catch Me If You Can. I think it should have gone to Tony Sheldon. He was, to me, one of the highlight performances of the season in a great show that I thought should have been nominated for Best Musical. So I was really disappointed when he didn't win.
I definitely agree that it should have been nominated for Best Musical.
Absolutely.
Especially over Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, which was just kind of mediocre. And Priscilla, at least, was not a critic's darling, but it's an audience favorite for sure.
It's the gay Mamma Mia, which is kind of redundant. Spider-Man?
Why were you...
What were you doing at my Tony Awards?
What was that?
What's going on there?
Huh?
If there's no tomorrow, I'll have today again.
There's no time for sorrow when there's no such thing as time.
Okay. What about Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? When they performed, it was...
They performed?
Yeah, they performed. But you barely noticed it because they had the original Weather Girl singing a majority of the song. If you're going to have a not Best Musical Tony nominee perform, then let them perform. Don't have somebody else do it.
Right.
What else?
Christy Brinkley.
Christy Brinkley. We secretly loved this, though.
Amazing. She reminded me of someone.
Please keep your hands, arms, and accessories inside the car and no flash photography. Thank you.
Guys, heads up. Inside secret time. So, Norbert Leobutz is totally going to be Broadway's next Billy Elliot.
You heard it here first.
And suddenly I'm flying like a bird.
Let's talk about the show's performances.
Nothing stood out.
Moving on. Let's head right into our award section of the show. Ready?
Let's do it.
Who do we think had the best speech of the night?
It kind of goes to who always has the best speech of the
It's
night.
always a lock, you guys. 3 years in a row we've said this. It's always the best featured actress in a musical nominee.
It is.
First we had Karen Olivo, then Katie
Katie
Finneran, now Nikki M. James for Book of Mormon.
They're always the most sincere, the most emotional, and kind of most deserving of the night. And the boobs are always about ready to fall out of their dress.
There's a thing, a story about bumblebees. The physicists couldn't figure out how they did it, how they flew, and we all know that they do. We've seen them do it, and they did it because nobody told them that they couldn't, and because of sheer will and determination. And I come from a long line of bumblebees, and I am so proud.
It happens every year.
I don't know what it is. Is it like the cosmic pull of their breasts rising to the top of their dress? Or like the theater gods smiling down upon them? But they have the most beautiful words. Bumblebee?
It was
Bumblebee.
beautiful. It was an amazing speech, and she totally deserved her award and this award of Best Speech of the Night.
Congratulations. And now the award for Best Dressed of the Evening.
My vote is for Sutton Foster, who looked stunning. And it was her first time, she said, wearing a strapless, and she pulled it off with those shoulders.
She looked beautiful. And my award for Best Dressed is Whoopi Goldberg,
What? Why?
because she looked like a professor from Hogwarts. All right. Now the worst dressed, well, that's mean. I'm not going to say worst. I'm going to say most uniquely dressed of the evening went to Frances McDormand.
I love my job! Fargo. And the Alice Ripley of the Year award goes to, it's a sweep, Frances McDormand.
I've played every role ever!
And this year's Best Good Sports Award goes to Bono and the Edge for recognizing that they set a new precedent for Broadway disasters, which was no easy feat to take that award away from Andrew Lloyd Webber in Love Never Dies.
Now, the Sandra Bullock of Broadway award goes to none other than Sutton Foster. Now, she is America's sweetheart Broadway darling, and this is the reason why. Her ex-husband did her wrong, and now she's in a committed, loving relationship, and she's kicking ass, and anything goes. And you know what? Anything does go, Sutton. You make me want to be a better person. Thank you. Sandra Bullock, Sutton Foster.
What did you think of that performance between Hugh Jackman and Neil Patrick Harris?
I liked it a
They sang
lot.
a bunch of songs, like West Side Story, things from Anything Goes, Annie Gets Your Gun. It was really, really clever.
It was cute, but I mean, halfway through the number, I started screaming at my TV, just make out already! I mean, come on, in that relationship, Hugh would definitely be the top.
The Tonys ran 4 minutes over schedule.
In an unrelated story, Memphis performed
Again.
for exactly 4 minutes. Well, that does it for the Great White Way Report's Tony Recap episode. I'm Coleman Drew.
And I'm Samantha Souza. Stay tuned next month for our Ask a Host episode where we answer your very prying questions. And remember,
Break a leg, Broadway!